Good morning, friends. Last night, journalists were already filming footage of the aftermath of the battles for the city on Orlik Street in Mariupol. At the same time, a battle was going on in the neighboring quarter, and this makes it possible to judge where the already liberated territories are located. At the same time, the AZOV steel plant is now being compared to the ground by artillery. By minimizing losses, the attackers simply destroy the plant to dust. The remnants of the AZOV Special Forces Regiment, the same neo-Nazi special forces unit that the US Congress has defined as a neo-Nazi organization that cannot be helped, settled there. At the same time, they are fighting with weapons from NATO countries, they are being helped. And their special purpose is clear from the statements of Arestovich and Gordon, which were made yesterday. Well, firstly, Gordon, sitting in a safe distance, he talks about the fact that all refugees from Mariupol are collected and sent to concentration camps created especially for them. There they are tortured, and he says that these are concentration camps of the NKVD. Let's leave, forgive him this little illusion. But it is interesting that Deputy Prime Minister Vereshchuk also spoke at the same time, saying that at least 5,000 residents of Mariupol had already arrived in Zaporozhye, and by nightfall they were waiting for more buses with 500 people. That is, Mariupol residents themselves are free to choose where they go. At the same time, about 43,000 left for the Donetsk People's Republic, or territories controlled by Russian troops, which is also understandable. Mariupol residents are also fighting for Mariupol, who were forced to leave the city 8 years ago. And these are brothers, sisters, children, fathers. As for Arestovich's statement, this is the same Arestovich Lyasenko, a mystery, a comedian who, 2 days ago, with the same Gordon, with smiles and giggles, talked about how they would receive reparations from Russia and how everything was fine. Yesterday, Arestovich said that it turns out that someone should tell people the truth, and he told it. Almost repeating what they told us a week ago. Namely, that the fighting is going on north of Volnovakha, that the units loyal to the Kiev regime that are desperately resisting there will not come to the aid of Mariupol. Because they themselves would have survived, that Zaporozhye, even if they manage to assemble some kind of impact fist, it will not physically be able to walk more than 100 kilometers along the roads. It will be destroyed on the march because Russian aviation dominates the air. He acknowledges that the remaining units fighting in Mariupol are doomed, but at the same time he encourages them to continue to resist. And in this regard, I would like to recall that in Nuremberg, in addition to war criminals who committed crimes with weapons in their hands, Julius Streicher was also tried. Who did not personally kill a single person, but he was found guilty of calling for such murders. He was convicted and hanged. And in Ukraine, after the war, there must be a Nuremberg Tribunal of its own. People's Tribunal. And he has to work for years. Because these criminals need to be searched all over the world, pulled out of all the shelters, and all of them must be punished in accordance with the decision of the tribunal. Nothing else. People who are now surviving on the ruins of Ukraine will not forgive anyone. In particular, they will not forgive the leadership of the Russian Federation if they try to make a different decision. These people deserve justice, real justice. The guilty must be punished.